my guest, Justice Abdulai, who is a private legal practitioner. Good morning, Justice. How are you doing?
I'm good. And you?
Good to have you here.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
I miss you guys.
It's good to have you here. Well, I haven't hosted you before, but it's good to have you here on the first day
of the year.
Yeah, as we're having a news review, I'm very excited to have you here. Right, we're going to have a fantastic conversation.
I pray so.
All right.
And I don't get gagged.
Oh, no, that
has always been
you
there.
Feel free to express yourself.
Trust me, I've never felt that so. I mean, that way. Never.
Well, we'll see how today goes. Well, I also have in studio one of my guests. He's Umaru Sanda Amadu. I was going to say something else, but I decided to leave it there.
Private journalism practitioner.
He's the host of Eyewitness News here at Citi FM.
Bonjour, Monsieur Kwaku David.
Please, you are over-Frenchizing my name.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's new year, new language.
How are you?
Minty brofo.
How are you, Umar?
I'm okay. The Hamatan is messing with everything. It's making me need more lubricants.
Everything?
Yeah, it's making me need more lubricants. But it's okay. And when I say lubricants, I mean lip balm, face cream.
Okay.
We
won't imagine further than that.
Thank you so much. It's too early in the morning.
I'm wondering why he's even defining.
No, but you are a lawyer. You know that when you say things, you have to explain.
That is when there are disagreements as to the meaning.
No, you don't want to leave. You don't want to leave doubts in people's minds.
Were you in doubt?
I wasn't in doubt,
Thank God.
but Umaru is known to be a little mischievous sometimes, so we'll leave it at that. Well, we have an interesting conversation this morning that we want to have. The first topic we're going to be talking about is the Ghana's emergency health care system. The health ministry wants NADO to postpone commissioning of ambulances. I'm going to read the story for you, and then we'll come back and then we'll have a conversation. All right, so there are different angles to this. The first one I'll take is the health minister wants the NADO, this is on citynewsroom.com, health minister wants the NADO to postpone commissioning of ambulances. The story goes, and I'll read portions of it. The Ministry of Health is pleading for the postponement of the commissioning of ambulances that have been parked at the State House in Accra. In a letter to the President, Sector Minister Kwaku Sakyi claims that he is adding his voice to the demands by the National Ambulance Service for the distribution of the ambulances to various constituencies to be put on hold. I forward to you a letter, and I quote, from the management of the National Ambulance Service making a request for the postponement of the commissioning of the new ambulances. Having engaged them and listened to the reasons for the request for the postponement, I would like to add my voice for their request to be granted. Parts of the letter from the health minister to the president read: For the National Ambulance Service, its appeal to have the commissioning halted from the scheduled 6th January 2020 date is to critically assess and conclude technical issues regarding the deployment of the ambulances for effective and efficient emergency response. It has therefore suggested January 28th, 2020 to be considered as the new date for the commissioning. This request has become very necessary due to the fact that the following important technical issues need to be completely addressed before the ambulances can be commissioned and dispatched to the various constituencies to ensure efficient and effective responses suffered some delay due to unforeseen circumstances. Excuse me. In its 5-point explanation, the service argued that the issues such as the training of staff and paramedics on the usage of the ambulances and medical equipment, as well as improved state of the art digitized ICT dispatch system needed to be addressed. Other concerns raised were the installation of tracking devices, establishing service centers, and the need for the labeling of the ambulances to be. All right, let's get into the conversation right away. Justice Abdulai.
Yes.
Now, what's your take on this story so far. The National Ambulance Service made an initial request to government to put on hold the commissioning.
Absolutely.
Or let's say postpone the commissioning, citing that 2 to 3 weeks is what they needed to get certain things sorted out. This letter got to the Minister of Health. He then looks at it and says, let me add my voice to it.
Absolutely.
What's your take on this?
Honestly, there is nothing that I would say about this almost rubbish that has never been said so far. I think.
Why do you describe it as almost rubbish?
Because it's actually the last thing that I expected to hear. And it's almost rubbish because these vehicles have been in Ghana for close to a year. They've been sitting there, and there has never been any attempt to have them deployed to the various places that they are needed. Meanwhile,
but the reason given was that they were not enough, right?
Hold on.
They're waiting for everyone to get.
Now, you are in a country where you do not even have a single ambulance anywhere in Ghana operational. The last time we checked,
that we see from time to time.
People are dying in trotros. People are being conveyed in bicycles, motorbikes. People are dying recklessly and needlessly. And you have even 10% of these ambulances in Ghana. If you are not an idiot, if you care about the people...
Those are very strong terms to describe it.
Okay, so remember what I said earlier?
I'm asking.
You remember what I said earlier? That is the only place that I get gagged.
No, I'm asking if it's not strong terms.
I think it is too charitable a term. I think it's too charitable. Because if you have human beings dying and you have a leader of a country who has an ambulance following him across the country, wherever he goes, and his citizens are dying on a daily basis, and all they need is not a taxi, is not a trotro, is not a tricycle, just a single ambulance to convey. In fact, just a timely intervention of a single ambulance could save thousands of lives. And you have about 10%, assuming we even had 10% of these ambulances, which were sitting there idle, nothing. Imagine the number of lives that it could have saved. Meanwhile, we have a very deplorable road across the country. And these vehicles or machines are fitted with the kind of rigor that it can traverse through most of our bad roads. Yet, somebody feels it is better to allow it to sit somewhere and whilst he engages in other activities. Now, remember, the reason why you vote for a leader is for him to be able to foresee future happenings.
Yeah.
If after a year of having these vehicles, you did not foresee that you needed to fix them with the gadgets that they refer to, you needed to ensure that all the plethora of reasons that they have penciled down were done.
Including
for more than a year.
of staff and
all of those. Before you import them, you already had in place these ideas. That is why you were a leader.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just import something without having a backup plan as to how they will be put into operation. You don't do that. Nobody does that. Not even an idiot in fact, not even a madman. Even a madman walking down the street knows that if he finds food in the street, there's a means. In fact, he has means of eating that food, regardless of whether he picks it from the gutter or from the garbage can. Even a madman, he has that mindset that there's a way of utilizing what he finds in the street. He puts a lot of items behind him, knowing the use of it when eventually he retires to wherever he has to sleep. That is a madman. And the people who lead us, I don't think they are mad. Some of them have PhDs. They didn't obtain them from their bedrooms. Some of them are professors. Others are lawyers. And these are the people who lead you. And they take these decisions. And they care less about who dies and who doesn't. And I had one of the most stupid reasons that we die anyway, with or without these ambulances. And this came from a leader of this country. In fact, a minister.
Who said that?
I had one of the ministers. I can't remember the person's name. I think it should be the minister in charge of importing those vehicles. I think so. Somewhere 2-3 months ago, that we die with or without the ambulances. And so the ambulances must wait, and they have to wait. Yet that person, I think she's a woman, and she has other compatriots in this country who die simply because they are unable to have vehicles convey them from their homes to the hospitals on time. Some get bungled in a taxi. Others we cannot even describe. In fact, I saw videos of people on a motorbike. And this is a person who's supposed to deliver, is the labor. She's in labor. She's supposed to deliver. And there's another woman sitting here in Accra saying that woman would have died with or without the ambulance. And so the ambulance has to wait. And this is a minister. This person is your leader in this country.
Is this special initiatives?
I think that's the minister.
They were the ones who
I think she's the one in charge of this. And then now you have the Minister of Health, who cannot even provide us with beds. She can't even provide you a bed. I don't even know the past 3 years what this government has done in improving healthcare in this country. And the only thing that they've been able to do, as far as I'm concerned, is the importation of these ambulances with my money.
They also brought in the drones as well for blood supply.
What?
Drones for blood supply.
Have you had one?
No, but apparently they've been.
I went to a hospital right here at Atomic Energy. And I was a witness to ladies being asked to pay monies down for somebody to come from Amasamai to come and deliver blood. Was the drone in existence?
Yeah,
a person who is under surgery.
Yeah,
she's in the theater.
These are meant. They've cited them in specific locations.
So if you're in Accra, you don't benefit from a drone.
I don't think it was meant for Accra deliveries.
Right. So the Accra man can die, but the lady in my village in Sekwa, she probably may survive if there's a drone. I mean, what sense does this make?
I think that the idea of the drones was supposed to be in places that are difficult to access. And Accra has a bit better access.
I wonder which part of Accra is not difficult to access, maybe apart from Ridge and Cantonment. Anyway, but let's move on. Now, so this is the kind of stupidity that goes into the thinking of these people in office. Of course, we are not talking about those outside of office. But if this is the kind of mindset of the person that you have voted for, the kind of person who you want to lead you, this is the kind of brains that he was born with, or maybe he acquired it whilst in office, then you can imagine the rest of the years that these people will lead us. I don't even know whether they are leading us. But notwithstanding all that has been said, the question you ask yourself is, how did you come to this point? How could no one, with all the plethora of degrees that they have foreseen that we would have needed these things before we send these ambulances to the various places that they are needed? For me, that is the most important question. And the period of time that they have been sitting down idle and the people who are dying, I pray that whoever has lost his family member, a relative, a friend, within this period of time, should be praying and cursing this government for the rest of their lives. Because they are the reasons why your parent is probably gone. He's the reason. If you had an ambulance, just a single ambulance, you don't even need it in a constituency. I mean, particularly considering the kind of place that we live in, where nobody cares about you. But if you have a single ambulance, even in a region, imagine the number of lives, the number of people.
Well, yes. I mean, I understand your sentiments.
It's not a sentiment. It's anger over stupidity of argument.
Anger is a sentiment.
It's not for me. No. Describe it the way it is.
No, let's
if the person is being an idiot, tell him he's being an idiot.
Fair enough. I'm saying that I appreciate.
So do you agree that they are being stupid?
I appreciate your sentiments. I'm just saying.
Why you want to call it sentiment? You like diplomacy.
Is anger not a sentiment?
Diplomacy has never worked in this country.
You are a very educated man. Is anger not a sentiment?
Okay, so now you are also attacking me.
Okay, let's move on. You a simple question.
No, you don't need to ask me that question because I want you to describe it as anger.
I appreciate your sentiment. I'm about to ask you a question. So are you not overstretching the matter by suggesting that if one ambulance extra arrived in Accra or in a constituency, it would solve all the ills of that constituency?
Never. It will never solve all of them. But it will reduce the number of deaths from a particular point to another.
Okay.
You could have saved one life, and one life is so important.
I'll come back to you.
In the life of humanity. That single life that could have been saved is more important than hundreds of these ambulances sitting in Accra waiting for some president to determine whether or not to distribute them.
Sanda,
yeah,
you have read the back and forth of this that's going on as well. What are your thoughts?
So first of all, I think we need to commend this government. It's not every day that you get And the fact is that the ambulances that are coming in are 307. I mean, we have 275 constituencies. Yeah. The promise was one constituency, one ambulance. But they're actually bringing in 307 buses. For me, it's commendable, regardless of what happens. It's exciting that we have 307 ambulances in Ghana. It's awesome. That's first point. I have challenges with management of these buses because our decentralization process is regulated at the local level by the district assembly. So the DCA is a local president or the local governor. When you put a bus in a constituency, an ambulance in a constituency, who is going to be in charge? Is it going to be the MPP constituency chairman, for instance, or is it going to be the member of parliament? What if the member of parliament is not an MPP MP?
Yeah.
Would you let them still manage your ambulance? Do we have constituency hospitals? We don't. We have district hospitals. So there's a Shai Osudoku district hospital. So when you put an ambulance in that hospital, it's good. But if you put an ambulance in Shai Osudoku, where would you situate it? So because there need to be structures. Now, these are things that have picked up that have not really been fixed. These ambulances are going to have brands on them. So it's Sikuma or Dobin Brakwa constituency ambulance. Where is it going to be sited? Who is going to manage it? For me, that's important. That's one. Two, the first buses came in, and the first consignment of 48 came in September. So it's not up to a year, but they came in September.
Okay.
September which year?
September last year.
Last year.
That was the first time the first buses came in. Now, I can't believe.
And so we have to wait for how long?
And I don't understand why, for the life of me, we would have to park those buses, first of all, in front of the forecourt of Parliament, or at the forecourt of Parliament. I thought you were bringing 275 ambulances. That's what you promised. As soon as you bring them, you wanted them to serve a need.
Yes.
I was disappointed that they were parked there for 3 months. And I was angry with the Minister for Special Development Initiatives, Hawa Kunsin, because I thought that she's the reason the buses were parked there.
Yeah.
And so the President met journalists in December, and a question was asked him, and he said, oh, don't worry, those buses are not parked there at the instance of the Minister. Rather, as an instance of myself, I instructed her that the buses should remain. And what was the President's reasoning? Because he doesn't want to be accused of discrimination in the distribution, because the buses had not, they had not gotten the total number. So if you have 200 buses, which constituency do you send it to? Which constituencies fail to benefit, and so on? And I thought, and I'm not going to use Issa's, Justice's words. I mean, those are too harsh. I will not use those words on radio, especially being a journalist myself. But they are untenable, the reasons the President gave. Why? We have 275 constituencies. You can distribute them in alphabetical order. You can distribute them in order of which constituencies need them more.
Yeah.
Maybe Accra would be enough. So why don't you start with Upper East? Say we give Upper East first.
And it's easy to do.
You could have done it.
We already have rankings.
You could have easily distributed these ambulances based on which ones have more needs. I don't understand why you say you're going to pack them. And the President said he was going to do it on January 6th. I said, fine. It's better late than never. At least we're going to see buses or ambulances on our streets. Then 2 days to the big day, we are told. And for me, this letter from the ambulance service through the Ministry of Health, I know it's not really. It's not something that is coming out of the blue.
You don't,
it's something
you don't believe it's genuine?
No, I think it's something that is planned somewhere. These are the facts I know. I know that so far, the 307 ambulances that are expected, not everything is in town, or not every bus is in town. We still have an outstanding of 2 consignments, and each consignment has about 48 buses or ambulances. So we still have over 80 buses yet to arrive. So as we speak on 6 January 2020, the ambulances that are supposed to be distributed, some of them have not hit the shores of Ghana. That is a fact. 2, what are the other reasons for the postponement? Because they have to fit some GPS trackers on them. It's fine that we want to track our ambulances. I'm just wondering how we have always been doing this. But the Vice President is leading this whole digitization agenda, and he says that the whole country has to be digitized. He explained at the MPP rally at Trade Fair that they have to digitize these buses, have the GPS and so on. I think it's beautiful. But when did we know we're going to do this? And how come we never started this process all these years? I mean, why can't we just send the buses to the constituencies and send the fitter or the mechanic or whoever to go and do that fitting?
They would probably argue that it would be more expensive to do that.
Really?
to send the person
you know
to
why it's not
every place.
The guys who are supposed to
fitting them in one
the
spot.
guys who are even supposed to come and do the training for our paramedics apparently are enjoying their holiday according to the letter that I've seen from the Minister for Health.
I saw that.
They are on holiday.
Yeah.
They knew that we're going to have a ceremony on 6th January.
Yeah.
They know that we had a plan with them. And in fact, it's not just a regular request for some people to come and help us. So apparently, it's part of the agreements that were signed, the supply agreement. So these guys knew this was supposed to come in.
As far back as September.
Yeah, and I'm wondering why they did not come to do this
not
training.
September. As far back as the day the contract was executed.
Well, that's fair enough.
So if the first ambulances came in September, whether or not the ambulances are in town, we could have still taught these people anyway. We could have done the training in anticipation of the distribution. Because even if the first buses came in September, we could have done the training in October, in November, in December, awaiting whatever, whether commissioning or distribution or whatever. Why do we have to delay? And the flimsiest of the reasons for me is the branding. Noah and Rodney, they are the designers for Citi FM and Citi TV. They brand all our pickups and our trucks here. They can do that job within a day or two. I don't know what kind of branding is going to happen. Is it crayon that you don't have? I don't understand what kind of... I mean, you are just going to write Ododo constituency on an ambulance, and that one too is causing a delay.
Okay, you hold on. I'll come back to you. Let's take a short break.
It's good you didn't use my words.
Let's take a short break.
You ended up saying exactly what
We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. And I'm going to have my guest, Umaru Sanda, finish his statements there. But just before he does, I'm going to read a few comments that you've been sending us on WhatsApp. Host, don't stop the guest from speaking the mind of millions who don't have the opportunity to be on TV. Let him call a spade and not a digging implement. Thank you. This is from Richard. Richard, thank you very much for that. Good morning, host. The president and his ministers are clueless. They don't deserve another term, period. Ghanaians are tired of them. This is Echo from Efiekuma in Takrade. Greetings. Please, the language of the lawyer on Breakfast Daily this morning is just too below the belt. Example, stupidity and madness, etc. Okay. Akings Ofori from Chibi says, good morning and a blessed new year. In fact, every new year under this government is a curse to Ghanaians, as our leader always starts the new year with lies and inconsistencies. What are we hearing today concerning the commissioning of ambulances? But he's not the one who said he won't commission, is it? I was shocked when I heard on one of your sister stations this morning from a strong MPP panelist confirming that there's only 96 ambulances available in the country, and even to the extent that some constituencies are merging to share one ambulance. Is that the equality Mr. President told us? Well, we can't verify this for now. Sanda,
yeah, the fact is that we still have some 80 buses, so 48 times 2. My math is not very good. That's why I ended up becoming a journalist.
Yeah, times 2 is 96.
So we still have like 96 buses to come.
Okay.
And the figure they are bringing in is 307. So we still haven't hit the 275 mark. But at least there are a lot of buses, more than 200. I'm calling them buses because
they are minibuses.
For now, they are just buses.
But they are minibuses. Yeah. That's what they are. So.
And for me, the point I was making is that we've always known that we're going to bring. I mean, it was part of the manifesto or the campaign promises by Nana Addo Dankwa and the NPP at the time when they were in opposition. And for me, I said that I'm excited that we have 307 buses in town. For me, it's a big deal, regardless of what happens, or they're going to come in. Yeah. Because if each government in 4 years brings 307, because our ambulance deficit is huge.
It's terrible.
Yes. Yeah. And so if we're going to have each government bring in 307 every 4 years, for me, alhamdulillah, is great. But the modus of distribution and all these issues about commissioning does not make any sense to me. And I don't know why we have to go and commission. Why do we have to go and commission? We bring buses or vehicles for police, we go and commission. We bring one, fire tender for the fire service, we go and commission. Ambulance that we need to use. You see, you cannot predict accidents. Just 2 nights ago, we were sitting here when we heard that the Bripe depot, there were 2 tankers on fire. Imagine if it was a depot proper that was on fire. You can imagine what would happen in that neighborhood.
Yeah. So the minority, do they have a point when they say that the government is taking Ghanaians for granted?
No, I think, again, I don't want to side with the minority because, like I've said, in 4 years or 8 years that the NDC was in power, how many ambulances they bring? If we have that figure, for me, then I would have reason to. Okay. But if they didn't bring it, I mean, it's okay. Minority can criticize, but I don't really get their point because the government claims they do it on the end of this month. Let them go ahead and do it.
Okay.
But I'm disappointed that we have to delay the process the way we have delayed and for the flimsy excuses that have been given. Why do we have to let someone go on holidays when they're supposed to come and train us?
Yeah.
And the training is going to take, just a week? And we've always known
it doesn't make any sense.
And we've always known that they're going to come and train. And I don't understand. So for me, this request for extension, I think it could be because the buses are not up to number. And as soon as you go and commission, journalists could go and count 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, but I think it's 200.
But then tell us that it's not up to the number at the commissioning.
That's all. You could even that. I mean, for me, 200 ambulances. Even if you don't bring the rest of, you've done well. Yeah. Charlie, you've done well. But for you to be doing this whole logoligi thing, I honestly don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I think, you see, what has happened now calls into question the government's own seriousness and government's own commitment. Because you have given a date. Everybody is looking forward to it. After they've insulted you, say, you said you're going to do that. People say, no problem, we'll wait for you. Then the time comes and you're giving us another extension to 28 January. And like I said, accidents cannot be predicted. So commissioning of ambulances should not be predicted. As soon as it comes from Tema, from the harbour, just drive it straight. If it's at that constituency, are taking it to, just let it join the eastern, whatever, the N1 and head south, east towards, wherever it has. If it's for Tema Central, let it just move. If it's Tema East, let it go straight.
Sanda, shouldn't we be fair, though? The president hasn't said he's going to postpone. He's being called upon to postpone.
But the reasons for the postponement requests are simple. The president would have to agree. As we speak, our reporters have not left the newsroom going to cover the commission of ambulances. So it's not going to happen. It ain't going to happen nowhere.
Okay.
So I don't even want to give this any credit.
Any further thoughts on this before we move on to the? Okay, no need to. There's other conversations to be had.
Has been more, diplomatic about those discussions, and I think except without the use of stupidity. Except that he failed to use that.
He has pretty much said the same thing. He has said
almost the same thing that I have to say.
I'm happy we have a lawyer here. If we are defamed, he is going to be
the stupidity is not defamatory of anyone.
It depends. If the person says that it defames them in the right in the face of right-thinking Ghanaians, then or ordinary man.
Okay, but I don't think Ghanaians think there's a stupidity going on.
Depends on who and who are the right-thinking.
You're very happy with this word this morning.
Trust me.
I think you're very excited. Maybe overly excited with the word. All right. Let's talk about the police shake-up and what it all means, if it means anything. So let me read a couple of stories and then we'll have the conversation. COP, this is all coming from citynewsroom.com. So COP Isaac Yeboah replaces Tiwa as new CID boss. Commissioner of Police Isaac Ken Yeboah has been named the new Director General of the Criminal Investigations Department. The decision, which was announced on Friday in a statement signed by the Inspector General of Police James Opon Buenu, was one of a number of changes made to the top hierarchy of the police service. He takes over from Mamiya Tiwa Adodankwa, who had occupied the position since 2017. COP Yeboah's appointment takes effect on 15th of January 2020. All right, let me move on and read another story here. Tiwa must be sacked, not reassigned. This is coming from the Takoradi kidnapped girls' families. The families of the Takoradi kidnapped girls have described the reassignment of DCOP Tiwa Adodankwa's from the post of Director General of the Criminal Investigations Department to Director of Welfare as a vindication of their demands to have her sacked. Calls for the dismissal of the outgoing CID boss was spearheaded by the families of the kidnapped girls due to what they termed as her supposed incompetence in the handling of his investigations into the kidnappings of their relatives. A spokesman for the families, Michael Hayford Grant, and a sister of one of the kidnapped girls, Nana Adjoa Quason, in a City News interview, demanded reasons for DCOP Tiwa's reassignment instead of her dismissal. When I heard the news, and I quote, "I wasn't surprised because we are in an election year and anything can happen. However, we do not know what the next CID boss is coming to do about our issue, given the fact that they claim the bones that were found were those of the girls. God is watching them. We have asked that she is sacked, but they refused to do so." Umaru, starting with you.
I think, Kwaku, so there's a new IGP, new king, new law. This is something he should have done long ago as soon as they gave him the job. Because these people that he has reshuffled are the people who are going to help him run the police administration. So if he thinks that, well, where A is not the right place, he's just like a coach. So he needs to, change
organize his players.
Yeah. For me, I'm happy with the fact that he now has a team that he can control. The issue about the CID boss, really, Mami Atiwa was not going to go anywhere anyway. And if Mami Atiwa...
Why not?
Oh, Charlie, if she would have gone anywhere, she would have gone since the time the issue were very hot. The issues about the 3 girls and all the promises she made and the failure and the disappointment on the families and so on. But she's a police COP. And you have to give her a job, one job or another. That's her rank. And so you can't just sack her. It's not like the IGP can dismiss the COP, a police. You cannot do it. I mean, there are reasons and grounds for removing a police commissioner. That the fact that she made a false promise does not warrant one. And so she's been sent to another place to go and regulate in charge of welfare. I think it's okay. Let's watch her and see how she'll do over there. What is important is how is Kenny Yeboah going to do the job now that people expect. Because crime is important. The crime is a huge division in the police administration. What are they going to do? Another point for me that we should be looking out for is the one that has to do with motor traffic and transport department. We here at Citi TV on the war against indiscipline, for us to see that there's a new man there. There have been challenges.
It's a lady.
Yeah, forgive me. When I use man, I use it figuratively. When we are on the campaign ensuring that people are not reckless on the roads, we don't really care who is there. We expect things to be done. Of course, there have been challenges with the previous administration. Our CEO, Samuel Atames, had to complain about a few ways that he was being frustrated and so on, or the Citi TV was being frustrated. Now that we have a new man there, we should give them the logistics, because MTTD is like what they call the Siberia of the police service. So how much resources do they have currently? How much resources are going to go there? What was the focus of this new person? What would he do about extortion on the road? Would the MTTD guys stop, or not just MTTD guys, now the police board or regular uniform police board, would they stopping us on Friday and telling us it's Friday? Because we know it's Friday, obviously. And would they stop collecting the...
I had one interesting one yesterday. He said, it's New Year's.
And you're like...
So then I said, I was smiling. I was in a very good mood yesterday, so I didn't want to do any confrontational things. So I was just smiling. And she says, well, you can also just, park and I'll come to you. And then, do the language. The needful, But I thought it was interesting. I don't think the shake-up that's going on here is going to change much.
But that's the job of the person who's been put in charge of that side. Because for years we've all talked about it. The point has been made that it's a two-way affair. If the public doesn't give, the police will not collect. But my point is that if the police doesn't give you an indication that they will collect, you will not give them. Have you ever seen anyone attempting to bribe the special prosecutor, Martin Amidu?
Nope.
Because you know that even if you are mad and you go to bribe him, he will lock you up anyway. Yeah. So let the police be up to that level. Let's know that, in developed countries, you can't attempt to even bribe a police. Even attempting to bribe brings another charge. Yeah. So what's the level of sophistication that they have? Do the police have vehicles that they can use to monitor you? Can the police just ask you to stop, and then they'll be in their vehicle, assess your car number, and then check whether you are the right owner and so on.
Have you been seeing these new social media videos that the police have been releasing?
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen them?
No, I've been busy enjoying the holidays. I didn't check.
There's some interesting videos. I don't know. I'm going to talk to Abdulai. I'll see whether he's seen those ones. Yeah.
So for me, what we have done in the war against indiscipline, you see, as a radio station and a TV station, our job is not to arrest criminals.
No.
The job of the media is not going on the road and arresting lawbreakers. So what we have done is to shine the light and tell the police that you have the power.
Yeah.
Go ahead and execute it. What we have done is to essentially teach them how to fish. They should go ahead and do their fishing. People send messages, tweet at us, call us, Citi TV, there's war against indiscipline happening here. Come with your camera. No, it's not our job. Our camera is supposed to cover other events. We are not supposed to just move around and chasing drivers. But we've decided to do it because as a responsible media house, we think that is something we should do, a campaign we have to go on. We have empowered the police now. We've given them the power. We've shown to them that they can even arrest a member of parliament who is on national assignment, quote and unquote, with national interest or whatever, the thing he used.
On his way to parliament.
Yeah. We've told them that you can arrest whoever, regardless of whose ox is God. Go ahead and do what you have to do. We've shown them the power. This is the time for the police to capitalize on this and say, hey, you know what? We have the power. Let's do it. Because people are afraid. They could even go have their own camera and do these things on camera.
Yeah.
And if the person resists, they should give the video out to the media house. Let us share it.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't think that we have to always be there. And for me, we have shown the light on the problem, and we've given them the empowerment. They should go ahead. The new IGP, you've done the restructuring, and you have put your people in charge. Make sure they are in charge. It shouldn't just be business as usual. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah. Just a quick comment I would like from you for COP Adodanko's reassignment. She's been moved to welfare.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Is that an indication of anything?
Oh, no. I mean, maybe she's just going to check the welfare of the police. My thinking is that she should have been removed long ago when the problem was happening. I'm saying that her removal today is inconsequential. The Takrady, the families of the kidnapped girls who were saying she should be sacked, she can't be sacked and she won't be sacked. And the reassignment, I'm not sure we can even relate it to what happened in Takrady.
Right.
If they would do it, they should have done it at the time. But they have just clearly shown to us that, Charlie, they are mine. And since they don't care, and they've waited till now, this is a New Year gift.
Yeah.
I think we just have to deal with it. And I don't think you can sack a CID boss because she promised you and failed you. If she failed in other ways, yes. But for a failed promise, down there.
Let me hear from Senior himself.
So, you see, it looks like we are all focused on Tiwa, but we are forgetting a fundamental
I think she's a very interesting
issue.
character in this mix.
She is, and with all the wrong reasons. Indeed, I did support the call for her disciplinary action being taken against her for the lies and the misinformation that she churned out during over the period of her tenure. But I'm more interested in a name, Christian Tete Yohunu, COP.
From MTTD.
Yes. Now, it's not just from MTTD. His name came up as a deputy IGP.
Okay.
The story was that, in fact, his name came up together with the present IGP. And the information was that the two names were submitted to the Council of State, with one being the IG, the other being the deputy. Now, curiously, we've waited for about 4 months. The IGP's name came confirmed, and he was made a substantive IG. A wireless message was sent around. His name was not part of those names. Nothing has been said about his position as the deputy IG. Absolutely nothing. And no new IG has been appointed or has been nominated.
No new deputy.
Deputy, I mean, has been either nominated or appointed.
So just let me just help you. From what I know, the issue of deputy IGP is not a regular portfolio in the police administration. It's something that came up during the Mills administration and so on. But what happens is, like the Supreme Court, there's a Chief Justice. We don't have a Deputy Chief Justice, but the highest member of the bench or highest ranking member of the bench becomes a de facto Deputy Chief Justice. So it is not written, but it's de facto. So currently, per the knowledge I've picked up, COP Agbo, Prosper Agbo, is the highest ranking person. So you could call him the de facto Deputy IGP. Now, he is due for retirement if he's not retired already, based on the knowledge I've picked up from the police service. So the next person is the one who is in charge of administration, and that's COP Dr. Ekufu Dampare. Now, so my understanding is that is the ranking. So Agbo is number 2, Dampare is number 3. So if Agbo retires, he currently is the de facto Deputy IG. If he retires, COP Ekufu Dampare now becomes the de facto Deputy IG. So that's information. It's just a point of information.
I'm grateful. However, I mean, just to add to that, notwithstanding these customary practices, we've always had a named Deputy IG. We've always had, at least for over the period.
Since Mills's time.
We've had that happening. And we had one just in recent years. Yeah. And so once you have gone outside of a customary practice to actually having a named Deputy IG and having submitted a name, you are no longer, for that position, that particular position, you are no longer in the realm of conjecture. You are now in reality zone. And so we need to be informed as to why one particular name dropped out of the submitted names for that position. And I'm very much aware that things happened, rumors flew around regarding his political affiliations, amongst other things. And I say these because, unfortunately, we can't wish it away. Everything we do in this country has to have one particular political coloration or the other. I mean, dissatisfied as we may be with that. But I was hoping that his name was submitted based on his competence. And this man, I knew him whilst he was in charge of Accra region, completely in charge of armed robbery and car snatching syndicate and all of that. And whoever went through that experience, I was a victim of that event.
This is Teto
Yohunu.
Okay.
Everyone will tell you how great this man was. And indeed, it was not surprising that he was taken to the national level in charge of the same operations. I mean, those matters. And so when his name came up as a Deputy IG, for those of us who have had first-hand experience with his administration in Accra, we're very happy because we're hoping to see more crime fighting and robust crime fighting in the Ghana police administration. But as I said, we need more information. Why has he now been reassigned to special duties rather than where we know he ought to have been? You can still be a Deputy IG and still do any other thing that the IG instructs you to do. I mean, I have no difficulties with that. But when you have told the entire world, because these were in all the media, I mean, they were published everywhere. I mean, somewhere in August and September. Almost every media has published this.
But it's discretion, isn't it, Justice?
So if you withdraw it, tell us that you've withdrawn it.
No, but it was not announced by the president. So you have done your own speculation. You're forcing the president to act.
No, I'm not. Sure. I'm not. Well, I'm not a media man.
I'm saying you've seen the media publication. The media publication has not quoted. It says sources. And if the sources have... I mean, it's just like the president, when he was elected, there's so many people he was supposed to appoint minister, but he didn't.
I think, Umaru, this is what I believe in this country. There's nothing like a rumor.
But he hasn't done it.
Okay, there is nothing like a rumor in this country.
He hasn't done it. I mean, Christian is a wonderful man.
I know.
Do you have any comments to make about DCOP Eklu?
Oh, Eklu, I've had first-hand experience with him as well. And I think he's a fantastic guy. I am just surprised as to why he has been taken to the police hospital. For me, the moment you hear some of these things, this is not a ministerial appointment. We need to ask questions. We need to know why people that at least are popularly known to be very active and very good at what they do are reassigned to portfolios that do not inure to the benefit of anyone.
But police hospital, he'll be issuing statement about
Can you imagine this?
mass burial.
Omar, please. Please.
Mass burial and other things. And we've not been told who his replacement is. So currently, as we speak, we don't have a director of communication or director of public affairs at the Ghana Police Headquarters. We don't have a director. So he's been removed, we don't have a replacement. So as media, we don't know who we are going to even contact if we need information.
Unfortunately, you probably are right with that. But this is it.
Yeah.
If a person is good at what he does, why the need in removing the person? I mean, we should know, because remember, policing is not a political appointment for you to decide that because this person is not in your good books or this person is not doing as you expect him to do or because he's not taking your instructions, then you simply just move the person anyhow or wherever you want it.
Let me throw a spanner in the works here. You say it's not a political appointment.
It is. Okay.
But in a certain sense, isn't it actually a political appointment, considering who heads the police commission?
Indeed, it's not just the commission. It's the entire hierarchy has some amount of political interference. I would not call it appointment because really the appointment, apart from the IG, who is appointed directly by the president, the rest are not directly appointed by the president.
But they are promoted by the president.
Yes.
So for me, I think that's something we should even do away with. Let the police themselves elect their leader. Let it be a natural succession.
Nobody likes the president's interference in a lot of the constitutional independent bodies. Nobody likes it. Unless you are not in this country, and you don't need to be a lawyer to know that the political interference in constitutional independent constitutional bodies are not welcomed. Because so far we have succeeded in telling the whole world that we are not good at using discretionary powers. That's what we have told the entire world. We are such.
you just held your tongue right there. Yeah, so
we are the characters.
Do any of the movements, reassignments, look fishy to you? Beyond
Tete Yohunu, which is questionable. Yohunu. Okay, thank you for that.
Dangbe, so.
Thank you. Beyond him, the rest. Was this person? I think I had a chance to be with this person whilst he was also in MTT. That is Aka.
Okay.
Aka. Yes. Aka. Okay, but he's not in the. Okay, he's not here. I think he's in the other. There are two. I think there are two communications that came on the same day. But he's Accra region MTT.
Fusuaka. Anderson Fusuaka.
Exactly. Yeah. And I thought he was also doing a very fantastic work. I hear he has been moved to Tema region. I just pray that yes, I just pray that he's able to bring his experiences in that area, because Tema is also a very, apart from Accra, Tema, Kumasi, these are the hot spots, and so if he's been moved there, I would want to believe that it's a good move, and he brings his experiences to bear and ensure that crime indeed is nipped in the bud. But TYS is exciting, but I was hoping, but for his position, his rank.
Her rank.
But for that, I was really hoping that she should be completely out of the police administration. And it's not entirely accurate.
You're excited that she's at welfare.
You think? I think it's the lowest of all the ranks. Considering what we have here, it's the lowest of the places that, of portfolios that she could handle. Because really, you do nothing there.
Welfare is important. Management of the welfare of the police personnel or police service is huge.
Don't worry. Just go into the police administration and then.
So would you say? Would you consider that as a promotion as compared to where she was? That's what I was going to ask.
I want her to ensure barracks are fixed, like the Adabraka.
I think I ignore the mischief and then.
No, I seriously think that she could actually turn things around, turn the place around, and do stuff.
Women are good in turning things around.
Welfare
anyway,
is key.
So let's move on.
Right.
But this is my point. It is not entirely accurate that you cannot sack a senior police officer.
Is it not?
Oh, it's not entirely accurate. You can indeed sack them, but of course, but you need to. Yeah, of course.
No, I said that you cannot sack because of a false promise.
Oh, right. That's correct. That is correct.
If they promise that they will find the girls, they are in Nigeria.
The real, the entire circumstances of the call for her dismissal were not necessarily based on promises failed promises. They're based on her conduct, her utterances. Indeed, her entire disposition in the management of that criminality.
But she's a CID boss, not a communication expert.
I've been speaking to Justice Abdulai, who is a legal, private legal practitioner, and then also to Umaru Sanda. Yes, it is. It's time to Umaru Sanda Amadu, who is a host of Eyewitness News here at Citi. Citi, please stop confusing me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right.
And CNR.
All right. Thank you very much for watching this segment.
I think
Hi there. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends.
This is Breakfast Daily on Citi TV.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Join us for breakfast daily, only on Citi TV.